Got it. Okay, so we're only slowly going through stuff we've kind of done before, guys. So let's go straight into did that. Just a second, just see what we can do. Oh, we've got some timing revision to do first. Okay, let's talk about timing first. So I know that a few of you have done this already, but I think this is quite a useful exercise to try and refresh ourselves as to what we've learned about how to make timing references, which is kind of quite an important part of any sentence, because we're quite often talking about the future or the past, or when something happened, or when is somebody going to do something. So let's just think of the various timing references that we've learned. So who wants to kick off first? You can unmute yourself, guys. It's an open conversation.
Nagara.
Nagara, yeah, it's good. So as we remember, there's a few regulations, isn't there? This is basically, I keep forgetting the name of it, multitasking. What are the other regulations about it?
Same person?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the subjects must be the same.
And sorry, I have them from Tuesday, so
oh, that's good.
I shouldn't cheat. No.
Oh, just do whatever brings it to memory. What are the things, guys?
Doesn't multitasking
Duration was also.
Sorry, one more time.
Doesn't multitasking imply the same subject?
If you're smart, then you'd realize this, but not everybody realizes this.
And also duration or something,
yes,
like that. It has a significant duration.
Exactly, there's significant duration. Significant duration. Yeah, good. Okay, that's probably it, isn't it, for Nagara? Yeah. Oh, the other thing was I saw today on a previous slide that these must be volitional tasks as well. You can't say, for example, while I was sleeping, I fell in love or something. You know, these are two kind of things which are out of your control. So these are things that you actually volitionally go and do, like making a wooden horse or writing a new concerto by Beethoven.
So snoring while sleeping would not
exactly
apply.
Exactly. You couldn't really use Nagara for this.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure probably in conversation people sometimes do that kind of using involuntary verbs, but in principle they're supposed to be volitional tasks. Yeah. Okay, what other time references do we have, guys?
Todojini.
Todojini, good. So, yeah, so did you see my update today, my correction?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did everybody see it? Because I told you something wrong last week. Cool. Okay, so this is for what sort of situations would we use dojini?
Instantaneous and simultaneous.
Exactly, instantaneous and simultaneous. Good. And is there any other regulations?
Just at the exact same time.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
pretty much simultaneous.
Okay.
You can do something. You can do sequential, very close sequential things like the door closed as I stepped onto the train. Well, obviously, if this was happening exactly the same time, then the doors should cut you in half. So saying the door closed as at the same time as I stepped onto the train means that you just got in and then the doors were closed.
And then without the to is if it's for your feeling contradictory.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So as David said, if it's a juxtaposition.
Nice.
Yeah. To make this easier to understand, contrary to expectations. Cool. Good. Anything else? Sophie, what about you? Do you remember any other timing references we've done?
Toki.
Toki, yeah, exactly. Toki. So Toki is a nice general one, isn't it? We can use this pretty much all the time because it's such a vague kind of reference. It's just pointing a finger at a certain time and saying then. So it doesn't really express anything. Anything in particular.
Mm.
Yeah.
how many?
Can I say something?
Sure.
For the doji ni.
Yeah.
I know you mentioned it also in your thing, but we also said something on Tuesday. I have it in this, like doji ni can also mean even though, but I don't know why I wrote it on Tuesday.
Sorry, that's because I gave you the wrong information. Yeah, it should be just doji ni means even though.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. That's it. Okay. Yeah.
So this was used to kind of express how one thing can be two opposing things at the same time. For example, she is both strong but easily broken.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, this kind of expression. Yes, this was using just using doji ni, wasn't it? Using doji ni without the to.
Okay.
So tameni, Annika, it's not really a time reference. It's just explaining the purpose for doing something for some other cause rather than it being a timing reference. Although quite often tameni gets used in a timed conversation to say, I did it at this time in order to achieve this. So it kind of says, for example, densha o noru tame ni okyakusan no nimotsu o tetsudaimashita. To get on the train. So at the time of getting on the train, I helped somebody with their luggage. Yeah. Okay. Anything else, guys? We did something a bit recently. Monya, what do you remember?
Tokoro bakari.
Oh yeah, good. Tokoro. We'll do these as two separate ones. Bakari. So tokoro was just about to, and also just finished doing. Whereas bakari is only used to say just finished doing. Oops. Doing. Doing. And Monya, do you remember that with these two types of sentences, there's a word that you can use at the beginning of the sentence to emphasize it's happening just now?
Tadaima.
Tadaima. Yeah, good. So you can use this for both tokoro and also for bakari as well. Good. Okay, Annika, what do you remember about timing reference? We did a few quite very recently.
Maini.
Yeah, good. Maini. And so this can be used for basically any time before an event. And what the other, there was like 3 other timing references during that lesson, wasn't there?
Kare.
Not kare, but tekara was one of them, wasn't it?
Ah, yeah. It's nearly the same.
Kare ni, to him. And what was the other 2?
De ato de.
Yep.
And ato ni.
Yes, good. Ato ni, good. So tekara, this is kind of this is both. This means after an event, but it emphasizes the necessity of the first event before the second event can take place. And then ato de, this just means after an event, used to emphasize the order of 2 events. And what about ato ni, Annika? What was that used to emphasize?
It's directly after the event.
Exactly.
So immediately.
Yeah, exactly. Immediacy after an event. Good. Cool. Okay, we've got I think 3 other terms, one of which we've done a formal lesson on, and 2 which we've kind of done organically. Effie, what do you think?
Irony.
Irony, good.
Yeah.
Irony. So this is while doing something, wasn't it?
Doing something.
Yeah, but it's free of the Nagara regulations about being the same person. About being the same person, and also about and that both verbs are running approximately at the same time. So
Is it free of that, or is
it is
that one of
free,
the-
yeah.
Okay.
One more time, sorry.
Is it free of the verbs running approximately at the same time, or is that one of the regulations?
So it's free of it. So what it actually means is that with Nagara, so I'll do that again. With Nagara, it kind of assumes that if I click format now, it's just going to change everything to red. No, it's not. With Nagara, it assumes that there is kind of this amount of simultaneity, that they are significant durations, and they almost start and almost finish about the same time. Whereas Irony means that there's one verb happening, and then during this time, it could be that the other verb just happens instantaneously. It doesn't have to have a significant duration.
Like while I was sleeping, a thief came in my house. Or something.
Exactly, yeah. Yes, exactly this.
Mm.
I mean, you can use Irony exactly the same as Nagara. You could say Keiko skuturu Irony terebi omimashita. But I think the idea of Nagara is to emphasize that you're doing 2 things at the same time, whereas Irony just means while doing this, this happened, or I did this. Okay, and there's 2 other timing references that I can think of that we haven't really studied formally. They're just 2 words which are used.
The kara and the monde.
Exactly, yeah. Kara.
Is that 2 different things? I would imagine them together. Like you can say from there and until then, like.
Hachichi kara keiko ga arimasu.
Yeah, no, they can be used apart, but I always thought of these things as one term.
I suppose so, yeah. Yeah. I guess that's right. Yeah. I explained to the Asahi group this morning 2 other timing references, which I'll explain now. We won't really work on them, but I'm sure you probably have heard of them already. One is mada, and the other one is more. So mada is used in 2 ways. It means both not yet and still, depending on the verb that follows. So, for example, if I say mada shigoto ga owarimasen, this means I still haven't finished work, because this is in the negative. So this means I still, so it's not yet. So that means I haven't yet finished work. But if I put this verb into the affirmative tense, I could say mada shigoto o shite imasu. So this is now affirmative. This means I am still working.
Mada mada.
Mada mada da yo.
So is that still not yet there?
Well, yeah, I mean, it really depends. Yeah. So, you're still crap at doing this? Mada desu ka? And then more means already. More than I. Yeah, already. And this kind of is used in the past tense, really, to say that something has already been achieved. So, Piotr-san wa mou godan da yo.
Why the surprise?
He's already golden, you know.
It's more like more tabe owarimasen ne. Oh, that would be mother then, actually.
So it would be mother, yeah. Yeah. So we can only really use this in the past tense and the affirmative. Mo watta. Yeah. Mo owarimashita. I've already finished.
Andy-kun.
Hey, Dozo.
What was the word? Shukudai?
Shukudai, yep.
That's homework, right?
Yes.
Shukudai o mou owarimashita ka?
Iie, mada owatte nai desu. Yeah. Yeah, actually, that's a good way of put these into context. Let's do this, shall we? So, Hyoto-chan says, Shukudai. Andy-chan, Andy-kun. Shukudai o mou oemashita ka? Have you already finished your homework? Andy, mada hajimete. This is much more likely to be me. Hajimete inai. I haven't even started yet.
It's mada, right? Not made in this case.
Oh, sorry, mada. Sorry, that should be mada.
And oemashita, as in oeru, it's to finish something. That's the transitive form.
Yeah,
And
I'm just
intransitive.
I'm just being pedantic because these days many people use owaru in the transitive as well, but I'm just being pedantic and saying no, this is intransitive. You have to use oeru, but you can say shukudai ga owarimashita ka or shukudai o owarimashita ka. It's because people in conversation people drop the particle. So then it doesn't matter if you say shukudai owarimashita ka or shukudai oemashita ka. You know, grammatically you're now correct in both sentences.
You'd be saying shukudai ga?
Yeah.
Owarimashita ka?
Yeah, or shukudai o oemashita would be grammatically correct. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, any questions, guys? Might grab this actually. Might use this later. No, without those arrows in the way though. Just a second. Let's do that again.
So with the mada, would it be relatively safe to say that mada is not yet if it's used with a negative verb?
That's
and
correct.
still if it's used with a positive verb?
Exactly. This is exact. Yeah. So it's right there actually. Not yet with negative word. Negative verb. Still with positive verb. Yeah. Okay. Let's now try some exercises, shall we? I'll try and leave this up here actually so you guys can reference it if you need to. Let's get rid of all that rubbish. There we go, that should fit. Oh, Effie's joined my meeting.
I think
Effie.
love the more.
Did I? Oh yeah, thank you. Right, let's put some exercises in here. He flies. Let's move this across. Okay. Effie, would you like to try the first one? Effie!
What? What did I miss? Sorry.
The entire lesson, I think. Would you like to try this first one?
Oh, okay.
Were you actually asleep when with your head on?
No. I'm texting.
Constantina?
Oh no.
Are you scheming against me?
No, something else. Constantina is in Keiko right now.
Ah.
So So what am I doing? Just saying. Okay, I'll use the nag. No, I won't use the nagara. What can I use here? Can I use the aidani?
I think so.
Yeah. So terebi o na, how do we do? Is infinitive aidani? Naosu aidani.
So this is in the present continuous tense in this case.
している間に now
Now してる間に。
な
Yeah.
している 間に
Yeah.
what is the vacuum cleaner
掃除機。
掃除機あ、掃除
掃除。掃除。Not 掃除。
掃除機
Yes. 掃除機。
not like the 掃除で
Not 掃除。No. 掃除機。
掃除機 oh 掃除機 but I said 掃除機
It sounds like 掃除機。
Ah, no, sorry. Yeah, soji, like the house word.
Yeah, exactly. But you said shoji when you said soji.
Soji o, soji o, so I want to say something like, how do we do that? Hogai, but like in negative. Tsukunai. Can I do that? Tsukunai. Tsukawanai. Tsukawanai.
And then this is a negative request, isn't it? So
can I just do it with a hogai?
No, that means it's better if you don't. I mean, please don't.
Okay. Okay, then Masenka something. Tsukawana.
Masenka?
Masenka. Sojiki o tsukawanai. This is how
Britain ended up leaving the EU, by making this kind of would you please?
It's really, could you please not?
How'd you say please don't do that?
Kudasai.
Something kudasai.
Tsukawanai.
Good. This bit's good. Who can help? Who can help? Anybody?
Kudasai. Just the de kudasai. That's what you meant. I was expecting another verb or something that I have to attach.
No. Just something completely non-important, like a particle.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, Piotr, I opened the door and at the same time the phone rang.
So that's not nagara. Would that could be todojini because both are pretty instantaneous.
Yep, good.
Do o ake aketa do dojini or akeru.
Akeru, and then we indicate the tense by the last verb generally.
Okay, yeah. Do o akeru to dojini denwa o denwa ga.
Yeah.
To ring is to make sound, probably.
Yeah, there's a special verb for this. Does anybody remember it? I guess the answer is no. It's naru.
Naru. Okay. And it was not the same naru as narimasu as to become.
No, I shall explain in just a second. So this would be what?
Narimashita.
Narimashita. Yeah, good. Okay, so if we just go to our dictionaries, we don't have to do it here actually. Naru. This is this one, and naku. This is this one. So these are both the same kanji, but when this has got uru after it, naru, this means to ring or to make a sound. This is normally like a machine. And naku means to chirp like an animal.
Isn't that the kanji of tori? Right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's got the mouth from
this
tori.
kind of so sounds that sound like birds.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think I think things like cicadas, they tend to naru. Sorry, do you know what I mean by cicada? Cicada? Because they're a kind of background buzz. I think these are, you say that the semi ga naru, these kind of make a sound, but tori ga naku, but birds chirp. Yeah, I think probably best to ask a Japanese person. It's probably regional as well. Okay, Annika, I like to practice shodo while listening to the birds singing. Ah, okay, you've got some vocabulary already provided for you there.
Tori o to listen was kaku.
Ah, that's right.
To listen kiku.
Kiku. Yep.
Kiku. Tori o kikimasu.
Kikimasu. Okay. But we now need to do something with this, don't we?
I think this would be nagara,
Nagara. Good.
because same subject and approximately the same duration. Tori o kiki nagara.
Yeah.
Shodo o keiko. I like to keiko.
Okay, so you're in a situation where you're talking to somebody explaining this, and you can't think of grammatically the exact right sentence to make. But what can you do easily here, just to say, just to sort of get your meaning across without using any complicated grammar, with what we have at the moment, with the sentence as it is at the moment?
I think there must be skides.
Yeah, you could just say gaskides, couldn't you?
Okay.
Yeah, this would kind of get your message across.
Yeah, I would put also suru in it,
Yeah,
but I'm not sure
okay.
how to.
Okay, so now we're almost complete, but this currently isn't completely grammatically correct. We need to nominalize this verb. So we would do that in this case by doing what? The clue is in the word nominalize. Nominalize. Nominalize.
Come on.
Am I helping?
Keiko. No.
Yep.
No.
Okay.
No.
It's done it. You did it. Perfect.
No hoga.
No. This is it.
No
This is it.
more.
No, this is it. You finished.
Okay.
Stop. Somebody stop her. Hold it down. This is it. This is how you nominalize a verb. If you want to say, I like it, I like doing something, then you put the verb in its plain form, and then put no. And then if you're describing it, well, if you want to say, I like it or I hate it, then we use ga. If you want to say, practicing shoda while listening to the birds is enjoyable, then enjoyable would be
Tanoshi.
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 And then, but we need to do something then with this particle. It changes from ga to
Wa.
wa.
Wa. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, Andy, I might have to leave if some problem arises.
No problem.
I'll try to be back.
Sure. Okie dokie. Cool. Good. Monya, when are you planning to go to Spain this year?
Okay. And should I use Toki in this case, or there is some specific?
So actually, it's a thing we haven't yet kind of done in this lesson, but I just really want to see if you know how to say when.
I don't know how to say when.
Okay. I think you do actually. You've probably forgotten it's itsu.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I was just thinking about we
Yeah.
have done. Okay. So, and planning?
So to do this, do you remember how to state your intentions? Do you remember that lesson about yote, sumori?
No.
Okay, maybe you didn't do
No,
this
I
one.
don't think I did that lesson.
Oh, okay. So really quick reminder of these then. So if you have a verb, for example, I will go to London. So this is really easy. London ni ikimasu. But this is really factual and sounds quite hard. It's better to say something, I'm planning to go to London, or I have a schedule to go to London, or I intend to go to London. So the way we do this is to turn this verb into the plain form, London ni iku, yeah. And then we can put in, there's a range of suffixes. So tsumori means intend. Yote means plan. The other one, to omoimasu.
I think.
Yeah, I think it will do. So, but with some, so you need with tsumori and yote, you need tsumori des and yote des.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was that it? Tsumori, yote. Yeah, and tomoimasu. Yeah.
Okay. It's kotoshi.
Just to help sentence structure, probably kotoshi needs to go first to announce that you're talking regarding this year. Yeah.
Okay. Kotoshi. Spain ni iku yotei.
We need when though first.
So at the beginning, kotoshi itsu Spain ni.
Yep.
Without any particle, itsu.
Yeah, this is just what's called a indefinite pronoun. Is that right, Piotr?
I believe we said that, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, we don't need a particle with indefinite pronouns.
Itsu Spain ni iku yotei desu ka?
Very good. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Sorry, it's not an indefinite pronoun. It's interrogative, isn't it? Indefinite pronouns are itsuka, nanika.
In this case, it's interrogative. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Good. That's it. Well done. Good. I mean, it feels like it's a kind of quite a heavy sort of sentence, but if you really think about it, this is just all of these sentences like these are made up of layers, a bit like ogres. So, for example, Spain ni iku yote desu. This means I am planning to go to Spain. I'm planning to go to Spain. Put a question after it. Are you planning to go to Spain? And then if you put an itsu at the beginning of it, when are you planning to go to Spain? So it just kind of builds up from a core sentence into make it a question, then describe what kind of question it is. Are you saying when, or why, or how, or who with, by putting an interrogative at the beginning? Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, good. Sophie, I've just finished talking to Derek on the phone.
Just finished. So we have Dokoro and Bakari.
Yes, good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Derek-san, to denwa. What we're speaking, denwa de hanasu. Tokoro desu.
Okay, so what do we do with the hanasu though? If you said hanasu tokoro, this means I'm just about to talk to Derek on the phone. but this is I've just finished talking.
Hanashita.
Hanashita.
Finish.
Yeah.
Hanashita.
Hanashita. Yeah.
Tokoro desu.
Yeah, good. Good. And Sophie, how would you emphasize that this has happened just now, right now?
Tadaima.
Good, yes.
Tadaima deru examiner.
Exactly. Good. Well done. Joel, are you leaving right now to go shopping?
Before I go into that, regarding the last one, if we use bakari,
yep.
Do you need tadaima? Because bakari is just finished, right?
Yeah, so with both tokoro and bakari, you can add tadaima to make it, to emphasize this happening right now.
Okay. I was wondering if with bakari, you'd still need tadaima or not.
I mean, in either case, you don't actually need tadaima. It just gives you a little more emphasis.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm leaving right now to go shopping. Okay. Kaimono no tame ni. Kaimono no tame ni. To leave is dekakeru, right?
Yep. Good. Dekakeru.
Tokoro desu ka?
Yeah, good. Tokoro desu ka? Good. Okay. So Joel, this is fine. This is kind of fitting these in quite nicely. But to sound a bit more natural, you could instead of saying no tameni, it doesn't actually make it any shorter, really. But this is quite a strong kind of saying, for the purpose of shopping, are you leaving now? But where you've got a real direct kind of leaving and shopping, these are really directly linked. I mean, you're literally leaving to go shopping. Instead of saying no tameni, you could do something else.
Kaimono shite ni de.
Okay, so kaimono o, and we've got suru, and then how do we combine suru with ni? Going to do something. Do you remember?
I couldn't remember.
Okay, let me see. Sophie, how do you say I'm going to eat?
I'm going to eat.
I mean, I'm actually going somewhere to eat.
What iru? What? No. So I'm going to eat.
Tabete ikimasu.
One more time.
Tabete ikimasu.
So tabete ikimasu means I will eat and then I will go.
Oh, the other way around.
Itte tabemasu?
Yes.
This means I will go and then I will eat. It's not actually saying I will go to eat.
Okay.
Yeah.
What iru? I think it's no.
Monia, do you want to have a try? Annika? Piotr?
Tabe ni iku?
Yes. Tabe ni ikimasu. Yeah.
So yes.
Why do you for me?
Sorry, it's just the order of people on the screen. So the way to do this is to make the mass form of the verb. So verb in its mass form, but without the mass. Plus.
So the other way would be shini ikimasu, shini dekakeru.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Shini dekakeru tokoro desu ka? Yeah. Exactly.
Sensei.
Proszę.
Kaimono ni dekakeru. Would that also be okay?
I think you probably could do this because kaimono is basically a noun.
Yeah.
So you can say kaimono ni ikimasu. Yeah. Yeah. Although kaimono ni ikimasu is probably understood, but kaimono ni dekakimasu sounds a bit funny.
Going out shopping.
Sorry.
I'm going out shopping.
Yeah. I think in this case though, dekakeru doesn't, because this means kind of walking outdoors. Doesn't work so well with kaimono. Kaimono ni ikimasu, I think, is fine. Going to shop. But kaimono ni dekakimasu. No, maybe. Yeah. Could be okay. Yeah, I mean, you'd definitely be understood. I'm just wondering if it sounds natural or not. Yeah. Okay, Effie, where are you going? Sit down.
Run away! Run away!
Getting bored, were we?
I was going to open the window.
Oh, go on then, open the window. Effie, you have to
Yeah?
say it you have to say it Japanese first. Now I'm just about to go and open the window.
窓をただいま窓を開けるところです。
Yeah.
いや、開けられる。
Yeah. I'm going to open the window. I'm going to open the window.
開けに行くところです。
Very good. Okay, どうぞ。はい、どうぞ。行って。Effie.
Yes,
よし、行け。
I did.
Oh, did you? Oh, okay, that was quick.
You just threw a rock.
やりました。やった。
はい、了解しました。Guys, there's something which I haven't explained, and it's really about conversation. It's not really to do with grammar. Where are you going, Fjord? But
Listening.
okay, we should probably try and start using it really, because it sounds much more natural. Which is if you say, here's a really good example. You're in the restaurant and you say, I'm going to the toilet. Going to the toilet. Now, how would you say this? Piotr, how would you say I'm going to the toilet?
I basically say, please excuse me for a moment.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
トイレに行ってきます.
行ってきます.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm going and I'll probably be back as well.
Exactly, yes, yeah, exactly this. トイレに行ってきます. So we should generally use this. If we're going to go and do something and then come back, is we say 行ってきます, I'll go and come back. And if you want to say that this will only take a moment, I'm just going to quickly go to the toilet, then we start this off with ちょっと. トイレに行ってきます. This is really useful expression. So you can use it to say, like in Effie's case, but what would you say? I'm just going to quickly go and open the window. Effie? Sounds like a kind of colloquialism for going to the toilet, isn't it? I'm just going to go and open the window.
And probably I'm coming back.
Yes, yeah, unless I fall out the window. So how would you say, I'm just going to go and open the window and come back? Effie?
I'm just gonna go.
Jesus.
I don't hear you. Seriously.
Okay, I'm just going to go and open the window and then come back.
So 窓を開けに行ってきます。
行ってきます. Good. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then again, you can start this with ちょっと, just to say, just going to go.
Can you
You
say?
say- Okay, that was my question.
One more time. I didn't actually hear either of you in the end.
Could you say akete kimasu?
Akete kimasu. Yeah, you can. Yeah, this be fine. And again?
So I understand right that Shoto just emphasized that it's just short moment and I'm coming back, and when I leave it way, it means I'm going and maybe never coming back, or
So if you omit chotto, it might suggest you're going to take a little bit more time. But if you omit kimasu, it means I'm just going and never coming back. Like toilet ni kimasu, it's like, oh, sayonara. Have a nice holiday.
so with Shoto, it's just for a short moment.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
It's not like there's a fixed grammatical rule. It just makes it sound like, for example, I'm going to the toilet and I am just going to the toilet. This word just is like interpreted as chotto to mean just going and then coming back. Just.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Where were we? Who was last?
Effie needed to open the window, so I think
That's right.
your turn.
Yes. So Piotr, at some point in time, I will learn how to read.
What about Effie?
Oh, she did hers. She did the. It was done so professionally. I thought, you can have this one off.
At some point in time,
yes.
I use atode.
Atode. This means after or later.
Yeah, also not now, but at some point.
Yeah, but it kind of limits you then to being soon from now.
Itsuka?
Yeah, itsuka. This is an indefinite article.
Itsuka is at some point, and itsumo is at any point.
Or, all the time.
Okay.
Or never, depending on the polarity of the verb. Yeah.
Okay. So itsuka, and then just itsuka or itsuka ni?
Itsuka only, yeah.
Okay. Itsuka, pasokon o naosu no o?
So this is how to repair computers.
Sorry, naoshikata.
Yeah.
O.
Yeah.
Let's see. Learn. Learn is something I will never learn. It's not oshieru. That's to teach.
That's to teach. Yeah.
Crap. I've written it down twice in the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay. Who can help? Can anybody help?
Manabu.
Manabu is good. Manabimasu.
There's also naoru or something. What's that?
Narao. Narao is actually used more frequently, really. Narao. Yeah, to learn.
And naoru was.
Naoru means to heal.
Yeah, that's
or
to
return.
fix. Yeah, that's the naosu naoru. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Narao and manabu. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, João.
Okay, Annika. When I was drinking my coffee, a pigeon flew into my room.
I think this would be Todojini.
Yeah.
Kohi o nomimashita. It was also.
I wouldn't use actually. So drinking coffee is kind of a duration event. Doji ni is usually for instantaneous events. So drinking coffee, you can't really use doji ni. I think I would use something much more general.
Ask any Italian with espresso.
Well, yeah, there are exceptions.
Yeah. Then dojini instead of todojini?
No. I mean, dojini is not really suitable for a process which takes some time, like drinking coffee.
Then maybe either ni, because subjects are different.
Cool. Okay, let's do it.
So kohi o nomimashita. Either ni and
either ni, you need the present continuous tense.
Okay, so nomimasu.
This is the
nomu.
Present continuous tense. I am drinking.
Nomi. With
Okay, how would you say I am watching television?
Terebi o mite iru.
Good. So
kohi o nonde iru.
Good.
Either ni.
Good, that's better.
Tori.
So pigeon. Sure. That's good. Who knows pigeon?
Hato.
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 Your sound is off, Effie. You're just too late.
Hato maybe just in my room.
But we should mark the pigeon with a particle, shouldn't we?
Hato o?
You're doing something to the. You're doing things with pigeons.
No. It sounds wrong.
Hato
Hato.
o tabemashita.
What?
Hato o tabemashita. While I was drinking my coffee, I ate a pigeon.
Yeah, I'm not sure if maybe they, but
No, you need to mark the pigeon as the subject of the sentence, don't you?
okay. Hato ga.
Yep. Into my room.
Watashi no ie.
That's what. Do you remember what room is though?
Heya. Watashi no heya. Ni. And flew.
Fly in. So what do you remember? Fly to begin to fly. This is.
No clue.
Piotr's helping you by making little wing shapes with his hands. This is flying, Annika. Did you not know?
I know.
Lufter, lufter.
I don't know. Sorry.
Okay, who can help?
I'm sure Effie can, but she needs to unmute herself.
Come on, Effie. Stop Stop sexting.
I'm always so slow. Tobu.
Tobu.
Tofu.
Yeah. And then, but we want to say to fly into the room. So if you said tobimashita, then this would be fine. But to say to fly in, to give that detail, this is a compound verb to fly in, made up of, Annika, what do you think? Tobu and?
Tobikomu.
Yeah, good. Tobikomu.
Komimashita.
Good.
Because in past.
Yep, tobikomashita. Very good. Yeah. So good, so good. Monya, when I'm eating, I like to watch television.
I can use nagara in this case.
Yep, exactly.
And I have to say tabe nagara or tab.
When I'm eating, so while I'm eating, yes, yeah. So this would be, we can almost convert this sentence into while I am eating. So this while is fixed onto the eating, so it should be the tabe nagara rather than terebi o minagara.
Tabe nagara.
Yeah.
Terebi o miru no ga suki desu.
Perfect. Well done. Excellent. Sophie, while I'm meeting my friend, you did this one last week, I think, didn't you, Sophie? Are you doing an Effie and trying to test my lip reading skills?
I think so.
Yeah, I think you did.
Yeah, and the map in the airport.
You did this one as well. My God.
Yeah.
How about then? You're just saying that you did them all, so you don't have to do any of them. Okay, I'm going to give you one I'm going to make up then. When I play piano, when my daughter, I think I gave you this one last week as well, actually, is playing piano. I like to scream loudly.
Uta. Okay. When my so it's two things that are happening at the same time. So we have nagara or dojini.
We can't use nagara, can we? Because this is your daughter doing one thing and you doing something else.
Okay, dojini.
Yeah. Dojini though is a short duration or instantaneous duration. So you can't use dojini either.
Then we have aidani.
Yeah, why not use aidani?
Okay, well, I'll start. Well, musume. Musume, my daughter, Musume ga piano o hiku.
Yeah, but if you're going to use idani, then you need to change this, don't you? Hiku becomes
Hiku. Idani. I don't remember.
it's up here.
Hiku. So hiku ite.
Nice try, Buster. What does hiku become in the present, in the TEFL?
Hite.
Hite. Yeah.
Ite iru. Idani.
Yep.
I like to scream loudly. Again, the pillow. Oh no, I had the pillow in this morning.
Oh, you did, didn't you? Yeah. Do you remember what it was?
Yes, and I don't remember the pillow.
Something
with a me. I think, yeah.
Makura.
Makura.
Yeah.
Okay, makura. So, Aidani, makura de into
I think
the
I think it's also ni, really.
Makura.
Yeah. Makura ni.
Makura ni. Loudly. An adjective.
So I'll give you a second. Right. So if you want to say loudly, the way this is normally said in normal Japanese conversation is to say with a big voice. So this is oki koe de. Yeah.
So it's makura ni oki koe de.
Yeah, oki koe de. And then scream is I just looked up myself actually. It's
Utao something, I don't know.
It's hime, which is made out of extra and naku and naru. This verb we looked at earlier. Hime suru.
Scream.
But I want to say I like to scream loudly into a pillow. It's funny to laugh. It's really kind of not very modest to laugh at your own jokes, is it? Okay, so I think we've got a version of this somewhere, haven't we? Didn't we do I like to do something while doing this? Oh yeah, here we go. Monya did it just now.
So, hime suru no ga ki desu.
Yes, good. Well done. Good. Oh. Excellent. Well done. And Joel, while I'm meeting my friend, we like to drink coffee.
友達と会っている間に
Good.
私たちがコーヒーを飲むのが好きです。
Yes, good. Well done. Good. Oh, good. Well done, guys. I don't think we'll do the rest of these because there's lots of them. But if you want to do them as homework, I will now post them into this event on Facebook. Shugadai desu.
もう始まりませんよ。
まだ始まりませんでしょ?
I need to do it.
Yeah. Cool. We'll come back and do Mada and more at another time. What I'd like to do now is today's kind of lesson. And if we've got time, we'll finish with Harumi and Sachiko. Mayumi and Sachiko go to the beach with starring Effie and which of you looks like you've got a nice girly voice? Joelle.
I thought you wanted to stay Sachiko forever.
I don't want to get between the friendship of you and Constantina. I know that this has already caused a kind of rift between
A lot of consequences, you know.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I don't want to get into this, Effie. This isn't my business. This fight that's been going on between you.
So
and
much
the
drama.
team. I know, it's horrible. All right. Yeah. So let's do a little bit more on adjectives and intensify our use of adjectives. Just turn on the red pointy. So we can, I've got no idea what this slide's about because I've only read it once and I was probably drunk when I wrote it. But apparently adjectives can also be nominalized, turned into nouns. Ah, I remember now, right. But be careful, as this usually means the degree of the adjective rather than the nominalization. Now, let's just be clear we understand what this means. Nominalize means to make it into a substance, to make it into a noun. So for e adjectives, for example, it's really simple. We remove the e and add sa.
What do you mean remove the sa?
Remove the e and add the sa. Did I say remove the sa?
So I thought you said remove the e and the sa. And like, but sorry, yeah.
Is the mention on it?
I need to drink less.
Or more. For example, hot is atsui, whereas hotness is atsusa. And some of you might be thinking, but surely the word hotness, this is heat, right? The nominalization of hot is heat. No, actually, there's a word for heat, which is netsu. But actually, even from a kind of scientific, physical perspective, the nominalization of hot is not heat, is it? Physics specialists here?
Not entirely, no.
No. So like the hotness of something does not equal heat. Heat is the transfer of thermal energy, right, Piotr?
Well, not necessarily. I mean, the heat itself, the temperature of something is defined by its own movements, not necessarily how much it transfers.
Just get back to your eating and cooking, will you?
I already finished eating for some reason.
Go and find something to eat. Yeah, so in Japanese, though, the word heat itself means netsu. So this isn't the same as hotness. Hotness is the degree of how hot something is, maybe how hot the air is, but heat is actually a kind of quantity of thermal energy.
Heat can also be the feeling that we have, that, you know, it's hot outside, so we call that heat because that's how we perceive it. So it doesn't have to do also with just the heat, the physical thing. It can also be heat, like when it's outside. No?
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Just talking about the heat waves and the heat, for example, that's something how we perceive it as well.
Yes. So this is about the degree of hotness. So if you're talking about how the heat outside, you wouldn't say soto no netsu. You'd say soto no atsusa.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, the degree of how hot it is outside.
How hot it is, yeah. But if I'm talking about the heat wave or the heat, I will still use the netsu as word, no? In the news, if they say heat waves or like it's heat outside, I mean, they can still say in general that word.
But that's talking about a physical quantity of thermal energy, whereas when you talk about the heat for example, in English, like heat wave, you're actually talking about the temperature, aren't you?
I guess, yeah. Then that's the hotness. Then in that case, how hot it is outside. Yeah.
And we use heat and hot and temperature kind of. We use it interchangeably, but actually it's not really the same thing. And in Japanese, it splits apart completely. Netsu meaning the amount of heat that's coming off of a flame, for example, and what you feel around you. This is the atsusa.
Okay, okay,
Or you can say temperature. You say ondo for temperature. But
Would you?
Go
Would you also use atsa if you want to ask someone how hot it is, for example, temperature outside or the temperature of a flame or something like that?
Yeah, you could say, how is the heat outside? You would say,
Okay.
Soto no atsusa wa dou desu ka?
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So I just said the word temperature, which is ondo. This obviously means anywhere from hot to cold, but if you want to specify how hot is it, then this would be atsusa, pointed towards the hot end of the temperature spectrum. Again, the same thing happens with cold. So samui, which means your environment, not the temperature of a liquid or a solid, is samui, and then the coldness is samusa. But again, the degree of or absence of thermal energy, what's called chill, or what do we call it in engineering? Coolth, it's called in building services engineering. This is here. So this is the opposite of netsu. Heat is netsu, chill is here. Now, for na adjectives, all na adjectives can behave and can be treated as nouns anyway. So you don't need to change them to talk about their nominalization. For example, I think I want this example. Convenience is simply benri. So convenience, this is a noun, is benri. Prettiness is kirei. Is Kim? Konbanwa.
Konbanwa.
Urusai yo. Kim, you knew we started earlier, don't you? I take it you've just got home from work. Yeah. Okay.
Is that your harem, Kim?
This is kennel.
Is it what?
Is that your kennel?
Yeah, it's my rule. It's done.
Hello.
Yeah. sorry, people.
No problem. Right, yeah, so na adjectives can already be treated as nouns anyway. And then for something to become more adjective, as we've done before, we can turn the e adjective into an adverb with ku, and then na adjectives with ni, and then add narimasu to the end. We've done this before, haven't we? Atsuku narimasu means it's going to get hot. Don't start yawning now, Kim. You've only just arrived. Think about how these people feel. They've had to listen to me for over an hour now. I heard something interesting on a science podcast the other week, actually. Did you know that yawning is less of a sign of being bored, and it's actually a sign of feeling in comfort, like you're in your comfort zone.
Ah.
You feel safe or you feel relaxed. This is when people normally yawn, is when they feel that they're actually able to yawn without offending anybody. Hello!
But basically like a cat closing its eyes when it trusts you.
Right, exactly, yeah.
So when my students are yawning in my class, I should take it as a good sign then.
They basically want to climb on your lap and fall asleep.
Oh, cute. Okay. I'll do the same next time.
Okay, and then if we want to say, I want to make something more hotter or colder, we can replace narimasu in this sentence above with shimasu. So to say, to make something hotter, you can say atsuku shimasu. Atsuku shimasu. Most of the time. At least you would be understood if you said, kono ramen o atsuku shimasu. This isn't actually the right way to say it, but you would be understood if you said this. So if in doubt, just make the ku adjective, ku of the e adjective, and say shimasu. Then this will at least get you by. So for example, how would you say, go ahead.
The difference between narimasu and shimasu in this case is that narimasu just happens by itself. So it just gets hotter or colder by itself.
Yep.
But shimasu, you need someone to actually do something in order to make it more the adjective.
Exactly.
Okay.
You have a unicorn behind you, Kim. Not something I normally say. You're having a party there.
Yes, it was was from the party.
Ah, okay.
Is that a kitty, McCord?
Like a cat. So it's a cat with
Party hat.
a party hat. Yes.
I see. It's a cat with a hat. Yeah. So Joel, narimas is basically passive, and shimas is just active. It's not quite the same as transitive and it actually is almost exactly the same as transitive and intransitive versions of the same thing, to do or to become. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so we can just use an adjective, e-adjective ku, shimas, for e-adjectives, and then how would we say? Let's say, Effie, how do you say I want to make it convenient, or I will make it convenient?
Benri ni shimasu.
Yeah, exactly. We just use ni for na adjectives. Cool. Now, the only problem is that we think of atsui and samui as being hot and cold, for example. But actually, these are about your environment. This means I perceive that something is. I perceive the air is hot. I feel the water is cold when I'm in the sea. This is what samui and atsui are. But we use different set of adjectives and verbs to say to warm something up or to cool something down. So to heat something up, this actually comes from atatakai, to be warm. But this is the verb atatameru, to warm something up, to heat something up. This is like some food or a drink, but not the room, not the air. The air would be atatakakushimasu.
So when how do you know which one to use when?
If it's something you're not submerged in, then it's atatameru. So, for example, samui can be used to describe the air that you're in when you feel samui. This means I'm cold. Atsui, or if you jump into the sea and it's cold, you can also say, "Oh, samui," but you can't say "kono kohi wa samui desu," unless you are actually swimming inside the cup. Yeah.
One can only dream.
Atatameru actually is used a lot in Japan, because I'll remember when I was buying like a sandwich or something, or the person will always ask "Atatabemasu ka?"
Exactly. Yes. Exactly this. Yeah. For anything, sake, for food. Yeah. Atatame or atatame shimashu ka. Yeah. To cool something down, a solid object or a liquid, is hiyasu. Hiyashimashu ka. What I didn't mention, which I'll put in here now, to cool room air, this is hieru, which is the intransitive of hiyasu. Sorry, let's go through this again. To hieru, to cool the air of a room. But if you couldn't remember the word hieru and you wanted to say, I will make it cooler, what would you say if you're talking about the room? What could you say instead, just to kind of get by? Kim? I can see you making the right mouth shape, so I think you're probably close.
Samuku shimasu.
Not samuku. Samuku means unpleasantly cold, but how do you say pleasantly cool?
Suzushikyu?
Suzushku. Yeah, exactly. Suzushku. So suzushi, this means cool, pleasantly cool. Suzushku shimashoka. So to make something longer, you'd think, well, surely I can say nagaku suru. Well, you can. You can go from nagai, nagaku, nagaku suru, but it really depends on the situation. To say nagaku suru means to kind of adjust something to make it longer. So if you went to the tailor and they were measuring your shirt sleeves and they said, oh, shall I make it a little bit longer? Then this would be nagaku shimashouka. But to stretch something, then this is nobasu. To extend something is nobasu. This is a transitive verb. And then, and then to shorten something, again, you could say michikaku suru, but this also means to make trousers shorter. But to shorten something, to compact it, to abbreviate it, is chijimeru. Chijimeru. Like your step. You say take a shorter step. You say step or chijimete kudasai. To gain weight, well, you could say omokunaru. This sounds a bit weird, really. So to get fatter, to gain weight, you'd say futoru. Futoru.
So it's not getting heavier, but thicker.
Yeah, although I'm trying to think if there's actually a verb to thicken something. Futoru. Yeah, maybe it is this actually. Yeah.
So they use the futoi kanji for futoru.
Yes, yeah, to fatten. Oh, thank God. Talking about fattening, here's me eating some chocolate. Nom 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 nom. And then to lose weight is yaseru. Yaseru. So to increase, like a number of things, you could say oku suru, but fuyasu is the right verb. It's got its own verb. Sorry, this chocolate's quite crunchy. To decrease is hirasu. Buon appetito.
What's in it?
The chocolate, or in it's like a Toblerone with honeycomb in it.
Oh, nice.
But made by Cadbury's, because Toblerone is kind of Swiss, kind of European stuff. We like good old-fashioned English chocolate, like Cadbury's.
I thought Cadbury's was US.
Shut up, mute, please. Okay, any questions, guys? Avez-vous de chitements? See how I can just mix and match? It's amazing, isn't it? Haben Sie chitements des cas?
N'est-ce pas?
There's n'est-ce pas. There's n'est-ce pas. Right, let's try some questions, shall we? Hang on. All right.
So, sorry, Sensei.
Dozo.
And herasu. Which ones are those? As in, what are they used for? Because I came across hueru.
That's intransitive. So fuyasu is transitive, and then heru is intransitive.
And
For
those are the ones that go together.
yes, yeah. Fueru fuyasu,
Yes.
herasu heru. Yeah.
Right. Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, so you can say, for example, okane ga hetta means my money has decreased. Oh, you guys, there you are.
And all of the ones we had on the previous page were transitive.
That's correct. Yeah. So I suppose you want to know the intransitives now, don't you? Oh, we can do it. Hang on. They're really easy actually. So if you can you read out what the first one was? It not atatameru, right?
Yeah.
So let me think. I think this is. I'm not exactly sure. This might be atataku suru. I think.
It did no atameru, by the way.
Atameru. Oh, is it atameru? Oh, sorry. Atameru.
No, that's a question. Does it like atatakai becomes attakai? Do they say atameru?
Atamaru. Yes, you almost certainly you can. You'd be understood.
Atatameru and atatamaru.
Oh, maru. Thank you. Right. Thank you. Atatamaru. That's the intransitive, is that? And then this is yasu and hieru, I think.
Yeah.
Hieru. Nobasu and nobiru.
Wait, so hieru is the transitive for sorry, the intransitive form?
Intransitive, yeah.
But so if you're cooling room air, that's
sorry, I thought did I not say on the automatic design?
You said hiyasu was a transitive. You said
yeah, and then hieru is the intransitive, but this is what you'd normally use for a room.
Like the room cooled down or something.
Yeah.
Oh, as in you are not actively cooling the room air. The air in the room has cooled.
Yeah, you say heya or hieru.
Then heya ga, I guess, right?
Yeah. I'm trying to think. How do you say I will cool the room?
You wouldn't you use hiyasu then?
I suppose so. Yeah. Yeah, I guess so.
Maybe you cool something else. Maybe some in the fridge. Maybe you don't cool down the room.
Yeah. Maybe just say maybe just say heya ga hieru. Aircon de heya ga hieru. The room will cool down. Anyway. Length and nobasu and nobiru. Where are you guys?
Nobiru.
Yeah. And then is it chijimeru?
Chijimeru.
Then there's
Chijimaru.
Chijimu.
So there's chijimaru and chijimu. Which one is it?
So chijimu is the intransitive.
And what's chijimaru?
Oh, sorry.
And chijireru.
Now you're asking. You've got the dictionary in front of you. Why are you asking me?
Well, maybe you have the quick answer because otherwise I have to type them in.
Hang on a second. Chijimaru.
Oh, actually, there's a new inflections tab.
Chijimaru. Chijimaru and chijimu are both intransitive. I'm not entirely sure. Let's see what the examples have shortened. I suppose they're shrinking the. So that's definitely intransitive. And then let's try chijimaru to see what examples that gives. Probably
also seems to be transitive.
Right. Maybe they're just completely interchangeable.
Might be a different use case, but then both intransitive.
Oh, there's no examples in AE Dict actually for chijimaru, so maybe chijimu is more frequently used. What are you saying? Jesus, worse than your party.
No, Effie is making her angry at her cat.
That's true. Yeah, maybe it's slightly more
I hope it is a cat.
Neko-chan.
So Chijimeru is, I think I understand it now. Chijimeru means you take an object and you make it shorter by, for example, folding it up or crumpling it up or squeezing up like this. Whereas oh, we knew that one already, didn't we? It's the difference between Chijimaru and Chijimu. Hang on. To shorten, to narrow, to close, to shrink.
The difference between Chijimeru and Chijireru.
The difference between Chijimu and Chijimaru.
Okay.
They're both intransitive, but Chijimaru doesn't really get you. There's no examples of it, which makes you wonder if it's actually used that much. Inflections. Doesn't help. Buddies.
Reading is common apparently. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. So I think Chijimu is probably the one which seems to have examples. So I recommend using this one instead.
And was there a difference between shortening by contracting and shortening by cutting off? Was that what you were going to imply?
No, Chijimeru is you making it smaller, and Chijimaru is just because shrinking down itself, just the transitive and intransitive difference. Yeah. What was the next verb? Was it fuyasu?
Futoru.
Futoru. Futoru. Futoru. I think it's futosu, maybe.
You said there is no transitive.
There is none.
Right. Because it says stay.
Because people don't become fat by themselves. They actually have to actively eat chocolate.
Yes, you're right. It's only intransitive. And then yaseru, I think was yaseru. And I don't think there's probably not a transitive of that either.
No, or at least that's what you said.
Let's have a quick look just in case.
There's just yaseru with the countries.
Oh, okay. Yaseru. And then it's fuyasu.
Hey.
And fueru is the intransitive. And herasu. And heru is the intransitive.
Heru. Okay.
Increase. Decrease.
Now that's the one where heta, as in the number has decreased, is from.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
You
also use it.
And now the question is, which ones are group 1 and which ones are group 2?
Well, you can use your homing uterus to work that out. Your homing uterus. It's a special organ that people have to help them to get home. It's that feeling in your sort of lower tummy to think, oh, we should go this way to get home.
Is that what you use when you're too drunk to think where you're walking and you just end up home somewhere somehow?
Doesn't work with men. Only women have a homing uterus.
Thank you.
We just end up in prison or in a dustbin somewhere.
Did you find something for Chijimaru? Because I was checking them now, but I didn't find as a verb. I find other things.
It just appeared in the dictionary, but there was no examples for it. So I just thought.
No, but it has different things. I don't know. It has,
Chijimaru?
I don't find it as a word. I find just the Chiji and the Maru. So not really.
So in AUDICT, it's actually got the. There it is. Chijimaru.
Okay.
It's actually got. So it's
have anything.
intransitive verb.
Other one.
Are you using an iPhone?
No. It said the Takoboto that way, but there they don't have anything for Chijimaru. So
Right.
I guess there it's only the Chijimu.
Maybe it's so. I guess Chijimaru is such. Even though it says frequent in here, it's probably so rarely used that it's not actually put into dictionaries. Actually, give me a second, guys. at this, guys. Look, it's got paper in it. Look.
What's that?
It's you know that stuff that's in the toilet, that toilet paper stuff. Well, years ago they used to attach those bits of paper inside together and print words onto it, and you made these things called bokes. Amazing, isn't it?
Never heard of it.
You mean bokes?
Okay, boomer.
Let's see.
Fake news?
Have you guys all got actually Japanese dictionaries, Japanese English dictionaries in paper? I recommend buying English to Japanese and Japanese to English, just one copy, because all the apps that are on your phone generally are not written. There you go. There you go. They're generally not written by people who write dictionaries. And to really find out the precise meaning of words, it's much better to buy a dictionary that's been written by a dictionary writer. Chijimeru. Oh, here we go. Chijimaru. Chijimaru. Where's Chijimu? Oh, okay. So on the entry for Chijimu, it just points you towards Chijimaru. So they're probably just, you can use either.
But it's interesting that A would have no examples at all for Chijimaru, if that's the one that's referred to, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. Interesting, if you're into that sort of thing. Okay, let's do some exercises, shall we? Right, Kim, you're going to do all of these. Start. You're going to start here and finish here. Go.
I lost connection.
Oh, of course you did. Nice try, Buster. I said you have to do all of these.
Okay. All of them.
Did you hear it that time?
Yeah.
Okay.
The heat of sun.
Yeah. Now this looks like a really complex sentence, but actually almost all of it you've done before in parts. There's probably only one word you don't know, which is endure.
Endure.
Yeah.
And yeah.
This is taiyo suru.
Taiyo suru. Oh, but then.
Taiyo, as in being the sun?
So is it? No, it's taiyo. Sorry.
Taiyo.
Let's make sure. No, I think it is taiyo suru actually.
I got taeru on my dictionary.
Taeru, T-A-E-R-U.
Yes.
Yeah, you can use this as well.
Okay.
So Thai is like durability, so it's like endure.
So let me just maybe it's taiyo with just one. Oh, the sun is taiyo. It's not taiyo. Where is it?
Taiyo is sun.
Yeah, just a second. Oh, there it is. Taiyo. Sorry, it is the durability thing. Taiyo suru means to endure. Taiyo shite.
Taiyo suru.
What are you writing down, Kim? You're looking up the Japanese word for Italy. It's
Yes.
Italy. It's Italy.
No. South.
South.
Southern.
Who can help?
Minami.
Minami.
Hey.
Minami. Kim, give me Minami.
Minami. Stupid translate.
Yeah, stop using translate. Come back to the lesson.
Nampo no.
Yeah, okay. Stop playing with the dictionary. Come on. Okay. So I mean, basically, this kind of idea about starting at the end and working backwards is sometimes really good.
Yeah.
So here we go.
The natsu jikan. Ni.
Natsujikan. You can probably just say Natsuni actually. Natsuni.
Natsuni.
The summer. Yeah.
Natsuni. And then is it then Italiano?
You can do this, but you can also put the word north, south, east, west before the country, and you still get the same answer. So this would be
Minami Italia.
good.
De.
Yeah, okay. We'll leave that for a second. You can use de. This works as well. And then the heat.
The heat. I was not making note. That was
Yeah, go on.
Atsusa.
Yes, good. Well done.
Atsusa.
Yep.
Taijo.
Taijo?
No. Taijo.
This is a Y, not a J. What's wrong with you, strange Belgian person?
Taiyo.
With your ridiculous pronunciation.
Taiyo.
And then it means I can't remember, not I won't. I cannot. I am not able to. What's the
Shinai.
What's the potential form of suru?
Potential. Well, that's a good question. Potential. Where is it? Dekiru.
Dekiru. So if I can't, I cannot, then this is
denai. Dekinai.
Dekiru is a group 2 verb, so it's dekinai. Dekinai is fine, yeah, or dekimasen, right?
Dekimasen.
Okay. Tayo, what particle do we need here? Sorry, here rather. This is a potential form, so this should be
ga.
And this is fine with de actually, but I was thinking of no, the heat of southern Italy. Cannot, yeah, but de is fine.
Yes. More, it's like off, yes.
Yeah, but there works fine as well. Cool, good. Joel, with this coldness, it would be better to wear a much thicker coat.
Konosamusa. I can't translate with.
Take a guess. And when we use with for with a person or with a phone, what do we normally?
De.
I would use to. Yeah.
To.
Yeah.
Okay, so konosamusa to. What is thick?
Atsui for layers.
Okay. Moto atsui koto.
Koto, isn't it?
Koto o.
Yeah.
Kiru.
It would be better to do this. It would be better if you had warmer clothes.
Kita.
Yep.
No hoga ii desu.
Okay, so if this is a verb here, we don't need no. We can just
No kita hoga ii desu.
Yeah, exactly. Kita hoga ii desu. Excellent. Well done. Good. Sophie, approximately what is the length of your sword, of your new sword? You're muted at the moment, by the way, Sophie.
Too many buttons. Okay. So, Atarashi katana.
Atarashi katana.
So, length nagai. So, nagasa.
Nagasa, good. So what goes between katana and nagasa though?
No.
Yes, good.
No. Atarashi katana no nagasa. Nandesu ka?
Yeah, exactly. You can just say what nandesu ka. This is fine. you could say ikura desu. Yeah, ikura desu ka to mean how much is the length. Ikura desu ka is also fine as well. Or if you're not sure which to say and it's approximate, then you could for anything. Donogurai desu ka? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, good. Monya, how far is it to your house in the country?
I don't know where to start.
Okay, so this country means, of course, countryside, doesn't it? I don't mean like nation, I mean countryside. This word in Japanese is, does anybody know it? Effie, do you know this one? Countryside.
Inaka.
Inaka, oh, done, Joe. Inaka. Inaka.
Inaka
Inaka.
ni.
So it's the house in a house kind of the countryside.
My house in the countries.
Yeah. So it would be,
Okay.
oh, actually, you could do inaka ni aru ie. This is fine, but I was thinking of the house of the countryside, which would be
Inaka no ie.
yes, good.
Inaka no ie wa. Far. I have to.
Yeah. So I don't know if you remember. Were you here earlier in the week on Tuesday morning? Ah, okay. So to go back to the subject of that, we can't just always nominalize an adjective to come up with a noun. There's a couple more examples. One of those is distance. Distance. Now, toi means far, right? And chikai, oops, sorry, chikai means near. So you might think that to say what is the distance, you would say something like tosa wa ikura desu ka? A bit like how Sophie used nagasa up here, or tosa wa nan desu ka? But actually tosa, because this means far away, it doesn't mean distance. Tosa means, excuse me, tosa means remoteness, like away from everything, like, you know, deep in the forest where nobody can reach it.
Okay.
So there's actually a word for distance by itself, a little bit like temperature is ondo. Distance, you don't have to say, sorry, just like temperature, you don't have to say atsusa or samasa, you can say ondo. For distance, there's a bespoke word, which is, anybody know this? Joel?
Kiori.
Oh, good. Well done, Sophie. Kiori. Kiori. Yeah.
So, Kiori nan desu ka?
So this would be kiori wa nan desu ka? But now we've got two was, so maybe we can join this up. Instead of having wa here, we could have a
ga.
I was thinking of no, actually.
No, okay.
The distance of your house of the countryside.
Okay, so it's not a problem if we have to know.
Actually, multiple no's are absolutely fine. Yeah.
Okay.
I could say.
Yeah, no.
Watashi ga, yeah. I say watashi ga Igirisu no hikouki no kaisha no administration no coffee maker desu. You can just have lots of no's to join all these together. It's absolutely fine. Yeah.
Could you also use ga after kiori, like inaka no ie wa kiori ga nan desu ka?
Yes, you could. Yes, you could. Absolutely. Yeah. Wa and then ga here, right? Yes, yeah, you could. Yeah, that's fine as well. Okay. Annika. I've only got that 10 minutes left, so let's get through these few more. I cannot believe the difficulty of this test.
Shika no
Shiken no.
Muzukasa.
Yep, you can use this normalization in this case. Muzukashisa is absolutely difficulty.
Ga.
Good.
To believe was Shinau.
Can anybody help?
Shinjiru.
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 Urusai. Damare.
Shiken no Muzukashisa ga not believable. Shinji
Oops.
Rarimasen.
Very good. Shinji raremasen. Well done. Good. Effie. You look hot, Effie. Are you in the sun?
There's the sun right in my face.
Yeah, must be quite annoying.
I'm lighting up.
Yeah. Could you warm this ramen up for me, please?
You look so blending. Blending good.
So このラーメンが
Or
を
give me some light.
温めるこのラーメンをoh, for me. Oh, don't tell me you one day agemashita, moraimashita, and things like that.
No.
Or the knee or something.
Well, yeah, I do want that, really.
Kind
I
of
want
things
it's,
like
it's a
that.
request anyway. It's a request. You can do it however you like. I just want to hear a request. Please heat up this ramen.
このラーメンを温めてください。
Good, I'll do. Very good. Well done. Do you want to have a go while you're driving?
Actually, if you don't mind reading up the question, yeah.
Oh, sure, yeah, of course, yeah. Could you cool this wine for me, please?
This wine?
Yeah, it's a nice bottle of Montepulciano red wine. Let's put it in the fridge.
Oh, cool. I thought you said call.
No, cool.
So that would be, let's see, active, so hiyasu?
Good.
Was it?
Yep.
このワインを冷やしてくれませんか?
Good. 冷やしてくれませんか? Excellent. Well done. Kim, the thickness of this ramen soup is amazing.
We had it, no, this thickness.
So a couple of weeks ago.
It's not the same as the code.
No, you can't use atsui, but there was this other adjective for things like soup and tea and that sort of thing. Do you remember? It was anybody? Koi. Yeah.
Koi-san no ramen.
So we have to drop the e though.
Kosa.
Yeah.
Kosa no ramen.
Is that the right way around?
Other way?
Yeah.
Ramen. This kono ramen no kosa.
Yep.
Wa.
Yep.
And then damn it. We did it. Long time ago. Subarashi.
Yay. Subarashi.
Subarashi desu.
Desu ne. Hi. Good. Joel, the T was too weak. Do you remember this? What word we use here?
Chaga.
Can't use your Y. Can't use your Y. You have to use a different one to mean thin. Do you remember?
I don't remember it.
Can anybody remember what we use for liquids which are thin? Okay, it's usui.
Oh, susugimashita.
Yes, good. Susugimashita. Very good. And Sophie. I was surprised by the strength of the rain.
I was surprised. Amen. Amen is the rain, the strength.
So we can use actually the nominalized word for strong in this case.
Strong. Joy. Strong.
Yeah.
Joy. He said, joy.
Come on, you can't keep repeating to your thing.
Chuyosa,
Which Suyosa?
Chuyosa, the strength of the rain. Chuyosa, no.
Other way around.
Amen.
Sorry,
Amen. Amen. No.
Yeah.
Amen. Amen. No. Chuyosa.
Good.
Surprised.
Yes. So do you know this word, this verb rather? Can anybody help?
I didn't know it.
Yep.
Is that
Kim?
Bikurisu? Oh.
Odoroku.
Odoroku.
Good. So we've got two. Bikurisu and odoroku. These are both.
Odoroku is intransitive, actually.
Oh, right. Okay. Bikkuri shimashita. I think bikkuri shimashita, although it's shimas, this is basically you being surprised rather than you surprising somebody. Yeah.
So what ameno tsuyosa bikkuri shimashita.
Yeah, so I think ni is right here.
Ni.
Bikkuri shimashita.
Bikkuri shimashita.
Yeah. Very good. Cool. And actually, guys, I'm gonna have to make a move now because I've also got to go to training. So we'll call it.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, we've got to go. So
Odorokasu is the transitive verb.
so to make somebody else surprised, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're surprised yourself, then this is odorokimashita. I was surprised. To surprise somebody else, as you said, is odorokashimashita. Yeah. You looking for a bit? Yeah, please. Okay. Any questions, guys?
Thank you very much.
Arigatou gozaimashita.
Arigato.
Arigatou gozaimashita.
Mata Mayumi-san to Sachiko-chan no hanashi o kikimashou.
でも、
今度ね。
Happy Keiko.
はい、ありがとうございます。
誰ですか
Yeah, we're going with Piotr.
Okay, go ahead. If you guys want to carry on talking, and I can leave Zoom running.
Bye.
Goodbye. Thank you very much.
お疲れ様。
お疲れ様でした。じゃあね。
お疲れ様でした。
バイ。
はい。
だね。
またね。